Welcome back. City Power has suspended its CEO for alleged impropriety. According to details emerging, Mongezi Ntsokolo failed to disclose to his current employer, City Power, that he had been the subject of a forensic investigation while working at Eskom. This happens just 4 months into his new role. To discuss this more, I'm joined by Mpho Moerane, City of Joburg MMC for Environment and Infrastructure Services. MMC, thank you very much for your time this Saturday afternoon. We understand that details are still emerging about exactly what has been transpired. We do know that Mr. Ntsokolo had been investigated in 2018 while working at Eskom. Do we know what the findings were of that investigation?
Good afternoon to your viewers. Firstly, let me put it on record that we received media inquiries 2 weeks ago. If we knew that Mr. Ntsokolo was investigated before we hired him. And our response to that was, we did not know. There were persistent questions that necessitated the board of City Power to sit down and look at the matter. And they took a resolution to ask Mr. Ntsokolo to sit at home for 2 weeks or so, while we engage our group forensic investigation services to probe the allegations that he did not disclose. And to our knowledge, he told us and he gave us a letter that he was retrenched in 2018. So we want just our group forensics to make sure that everything is above board. So he was not suspended for wrongdoing at City Power. He was asked to sit at home while group investigate if there is indeed something that we should be aware of.
So he was investigated while working at Eskom. We don't know the findings of that investigation. Do you have insights into those findings?
Unfortunately, we don't have any findings of that investigation. Actually, from where we're sitting, we don't even know the allegations except that they were given to us by a certain journalist.
So the position of CEO of City Power, that's quite a high-ranking position, and the public would like to think that the necessary checks and balances are done before making appointments. What kind of processes are in place to look into the background of appointments made to prevent this kind of thing from happening?
We did vetting before Mr. Ntsokolo was appointed. We also got his police clearance that he has no case. We have a letter from Eskom that was addressed to him that they are giving him early retrenchment package. So at that time, when you given a letter, you can't say were you investigated. But we did ask at an interview, do you want to disclose if you have left your previous employment, there were no issues? And he said no. On the application form, we do ask the same question, and he said no. So we were not worried too much because we have he's shown us his retrenchment letter.
Yes.
So at that time, we wouldn't know that there was an investigation before.
Yes. So we do understand you are still looking into the matter and that Mr. Ntsokolo has been suspended in the interim. What processes will unfold once the 2-week suspension has passed? Well,
the suspension is not 2 weeks, but we gave ourselves 2 weeks we gave our group forensics 2 weeks to finish the investigation. If they needed more time, they will alert us, but his suspension is indefinite until a report comes to the board for presentation.
Is there an acting CEO in his place in the interim?
We have a COO who has been asked to act as CEO. She is capable. She has acted in the position before, and we believe that we have capacity at City Power. We have group execs for operations that ensures that the people of City of Johannesburg have electricity at all times.
Right, so service delivery is already a reoccurring issue. Are we to understand that you're assuring us that this current situation where the CEO is currently under suspension will not affect any continuity of service delivery in terms of electricity to Joburg residents?
I'm giving assurance that we won't find ourselves in darkness. Our technicians are on site. Everybody is on duty. We don't foresee any problems unless ESCOM comes with load shedding and say we are switching you off because of a shortage of power. But from our side is your normal issues of outages there and there, which we have capable teams to make sure that we attend to them as soon as possible. We want to assure the residents of Johannesburg that we are committed to accelerated service delivery in the city.
Thank you very much. That was Mpho Moerane, City of Joburg MMC for Environment and Infrastructure Services.